Hello, everyone. This is Paul Hayden, and okay, it is recording. Good. Okay, so this is Paul Hayden, and this is my technology integration plan proposal for using Chromebooks in the classroom. So, for my rationale, first I just want to talk about why Chromebooks and why I would like Chromebooks in my classroom particularly. Well, they're interactive, for one thing. They're extremely interactive. I'm going to show you a sample later on of, how I would implement it. And, but other things you could do are web quests, review apps like Kahoot and Socrative. There are all kinds of things. If you have certain types of smart boards, they can actually use their Chromebooks to solve a problem that's on the smartboard and then display it up on the smartboard, which is awesome, which is really cool. So there are a bunch of different things that you can do with Chromebook. And then there's Google Classroom integration. Some teachers who have Google carts already, the Chromebook carts, they already have Google Classroom integrated, and since they're both running on Google OS, on Android systems, the Classroom and Chromebooks, they work together seamlessly, and they're all they're set up specifically to use Google Docs, Google Slides, all everything that Google has to offer. The Chromebook is ready for, and Google Earth, which you're also going to see in action. And it's a huge reduction in paper waste. With everything being digital, all worksheets are now digital. All writing prompts, all note sheets, everything that you need to worry about, tests, quizzes, it can all be on Classroom or whatever program you want. They can access it through their Chromebook, take a digital test, and then it's there. Like sometimes it's already graded even right there for you. It's just much easier, much better for the environment, much cheaper for the school. In the long run, at least, because you're not spending so much on paper. And lastly, it allows students who don't have the internet at home to use the internet during school hours. If they have a whole bunch of work from other classes that they need to do, then they can just log in when they're in a study hall or something like that. Or if all their work is done in their class, they can just log into their another class and do it quickly. Just log in, start working on their work, and not worrying about where they're going to get internet access to do their homework. Are they going to have to go to the library or a friend's house? Doesn't matter. If they have a Chromebook in hand and if they have some free time, some downtime or something, they can just log in and start working on it then. So planning. A lot of planning for this one, at least for some people. First off, the students must know their login information. I know for me, especially, my students, they just are terrible at remembering their login information. They're always forgetting their passwords or, how their email is set up and stuff like that. So that's something that you must be able to troubleshoot. And that's my bottom thing down here. You must be able to troubleshoot any issues that come out. If they don't know their login information, you have to know how to reset it, or you have to at least have their login information written down or something so you can help them. You must know how to navigate Google Classroom and Google Drive, especially if they're having problems submitting their assignment, or once they complete one part, how do they move on to the next part? You have to be pretty familiar with it. You must know how to take a screenshot of a page on a Chromebook, which is Control and the switch window, which is that little button right here. And I'm using just regular laptop, so all I have to do is hit the print screen button up by F12 at the top of the keyboard. Chromebook cart must be readily available. This would be a very difficult lesson to do if you don't actually have the technology to do it. So make sure that you're doing it on the date that you signed out the cart for. You need a contingency plan just in case the internet doesn't work, which is always a problem in my school. It's always a problem. We are always, we're frequently having the internet drop on us, and you always need a contingency plan of some sort. And the teacher must know how to troubleshoot any issues, like I said, login information, or if a computer is not working, maybe it's not connecting to the Wi-Fi, so you have to know how to turn the Wi-Fi card on and off, or maybe just how to reset the computer, things like that. Just basic troubleshooting needs. Why technology for this biome project? Well, it's specifically designed for it because they are going to need the Chromebooks to find locations on Earth that are covered in snow. They will need to know the latitude and longitude and the country that's located in. Once they do that, they are going to pick one of these locations and research it. They must find the biome that it's in. Hi, bud. They must find the plants and animals that are in it. Maybe it's, so let's go back to the biome. One of the biome, if it's snowy, it's probably either a taiga or a tundra, if it's snowy. So then, for the flora and fauna, what kind of plants and what kind of animals are you going to see in a taiga or a tundra? What's their life cycle like, things like that. Is there a human impact in this area? And if so, what's the human population look like? And finally, they must then make a presentation based on this information. They're going to pair up with someone or form a group, depending on how big the class is. It might be a pair, might be a group of kids, and they're going to make a presentation on this information. The objectives and the assessments of this. Let's just start with the assessment because that's just the easiest one to talk about and the shortest one. Basically, they're going to be assessed by meeting all the requirements that I have that I'm going to talk about here and the 5 slides of the presentation. So they are going to have to fill out a 20-item table, which we discussed on the last one. So first, they're going to download 5 images of snowy locations on Google Earth by taking a screenshot of it, pasting into the table. They're going to need to use their geography skills to find the latitude and longitude of 5 locations that are snowy or icy. And those will also go on the table. Then they will have to create this table themselves based on input the geographic location. The students will then create a presentation on these locations and present it. So those are my objectives. And then here's how I'm going to assess it, like I said. The filling out table and the presentation. Instructional software. The lesson that you'll see is a branching tutorial, meaning that the students, they're going to have a goal to reach, but they can achieve it any way they wish. They can, it doesn't matter what countries they pick or what areas they pick, as long as it's snowy, that's really the important part. And as long as they get the biomes right and the research right, good. They can go where, whatever they need to do. If they're going to go on the internet, then they're definitely going to need to make sure it's a safe website, which they'll need permission from me to do that. If they're not on Google Docs or on Google Earth, then it better be with permission. But they are being very self-guided. This allows the teacher to walk around the room and help the students to find what they need. So if they're having a hard time finding snowy places, then perhaps the teacher will just say, where might you find them? Like what latitudes here? And then hopefully they're going to reply with, well, North Pole or South Pole. So, okay, let's look up near the north and find some snowy places. Then the class, the way it's set up, the class will begin as a traditional, what's going on here? Okay. My mouse just went a little crazy. I apologize. There we go. The class will begin as a traditional individual approach, but then it changes to a grouping strategy once they enter the presentation phase. Once they fill out their table, they're going to get into groups and start working on a presentation. And so the whole feel of the project changes halfway through. So determining the success of the lesson, there is a lot of time to monitor and revise. If they're going real fast on this lesson, you can step in to make sure they're doing it accurately. And if they are, then maybe we'll have to cut this lesson short. Maybe it'll only be a 2-day lesson instead of 3. Who knows? Maybe if they're having a hard time with it, then we could have the table pre-made for them. All they have to do is just fill it in. That's actually how I'm going to have it set up, just for time purposes and for ease of use on this lesson. The table will be pre-made, and all we have to do is fill in the information. And it's easy to adapt if the technology is unavailable. All you need are atlases, crayons, and poster board. Boom, done. So then if you don't have internet, we can still do this project, no problem. And the knowledge will be assessed with the completion of the table and presentation. So now let's go on to the lesson. We'll open up Google Earth. If you've never seen Google Earth before, this is it. As you can see, it's, you know, the whole globe right here with constellations in the background, all kinds of very cool stuff. If you zoom in, you'll get satellite views of everything. You can actually type in a specific address right here. So let's see if we can find my hometown. And there it is. So as you can see, it's a satellite view of everything. It's, you know, it's a wonderful tool. If you've never seen it before, it's really cool, and it's fun to put everything into perspective and scale of, you know, the size of the world. So anyways, on to snowy things. So here, this is the first one that I found because it's just gigantic, Greenland. I'm more interested in Iceland though. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna take a screenshot of it. Now I'm going into my Google Chrome, and I already have the doc opened up. And if you've never used Google Docs before, it's really cool where here I'm just going to type in sample lesson, and it automatically saves. That's it. I didn't have to hit any save button. Boom. Done. So here's the table. We have picture of location, latitude, longitude, country. So when you paste the picture in, all I have to do is Control V or right click and paste. That's it. Once we get to this point, if the students want, they can crop the image. Just bring it right in. Make it a little easier to see. For the latitude and longitude, in Google Earth, you'll see it down here at the bottom right. Here's the latitude, here's the longitude. And there's even elevation there too. So if I go to Iceland, it's about 64 degrees north, 18 degrees west. There you go. If they want to put the minutes and seconds in, they certainly can. I did, but you know, really, as long as the latitude and longitude coordinates are in there, the minutes and seconds, it depends on the student if they want to or not. So then once they have that all filled out, they're going to turn it into a slide. And it's super easy to do that because all you have to do is you go here, slides. There it is. You just click on what you want to do and make a presentation out of it. And then on the teacher's end, this is Google Classroom. I just made a basic biology classroom. Maybe this would be a geography lesson, maybe a biology lesson, maybe a public speaking lesson. It could be anything. Like it's a pretty, you know, all-encompassing lesson here. Anyways, it looks kind of like Facebook. This would be like your wall right here. Here's a list of work done that's due soon. Topics, you can have discussion topics going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that assignment. So you just go down here and create assignment. And I'm going to say snowy locations, biomes. You can set due date or the topic. You can have directions on what to do. I'm going to attach that worksheet, sample lesson, add. And here it says students can view, they can edit the file, or you can give each copy, make a copy for each of them. That's what you want. Assign. And that's it. Now the student can go in, they can change whatever they want on this worksheet, and it won't affect anyone else's worksheet, only theirs. So they can do that. They'll submit it back to the teacher, and it's that simple. Then they can go back to making a slide. You can have multiple students working in here at once. One student might be up here, blah, 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 typing away. And then down here, there might be a green marker with another student working down here at the same time. You could have as many people as you want all in here at one time working at different parts of the lesson, which is incredible, especially when you're working on a presentation. Someone might be working on the introductory slide, someone might be working on a middle one, and maybe someone's doing the reference page at the end. It's whatever they want to do, however they want to do it, but they can all do it simultaneously, all just through Google Docs and just these apps right here, which I think is just incredible. And if you want to try Google Classroom on your own, go up here. If you have Gmail, it's right up here. And as long as you have a teaching email, it'll be here. You have to click on even more, and it'll bring up this huge list of apps. Since I already clicked on it, it's down here for me. It's Classroom. That's it. And then you'll see like classes that you've made or that you're a co-teacher with, in my case. And that's how it works. It's that simple. I hope that this has been informational. I hope that has maybe given you new insight on how Chromebooks can work and how an integrated classroom can work. And I hope that this has given you a new way to think of making a lesson and integrating technology into your own lessons. Thank you, and have a great week.